last minute warming of the tyres. Are we going to see any 360s? Yes, we are. There Chuckle goes. That was a beautiful effort from him. There Chuck goes in the background. That's a pretty awful effort, I must say. Definitely could have done better with that. Well, that's my personal opinion anyway. I've definitely seen him do better as well. There's a Williams in the background who's giving it a go as well. I think that's David Benson, and hats off to you, David, if you're doing it. There's also a Ferrari. Yes, boys, that is exactly what we love to see. Quite a few disqualifications. And there are the lights. That is a pretty awful camera angle. I can't see where the red lights are. But it looks like we are racing in Japan for the season finale. Chuckle gets a fantastic launch off the line. He's destroyed his brother, who has dropped a position to Josh McGill. Unfortunately, in that one, there's a few position changes further back. Looks like LG's had a nice start. He's going side by side with Lee Burt. Lee Burt keeps the inside, though, and manages to hold it. Keep fifth position. Somebody's dropped down. I believe that's Prodigy has dropped down. Crucially, Paul has managed to hold position, though. Hasn't gained, hasn't lost, but that's not the end of the world. Lee Burt's had a good start, up one position on the hard compound tyres, but Chuckle with a lightning reaction to those lights, and that's brilliant. And Cameron Poulter has spun and popped it in the wall, and that is right away. And that looks like wing damage. Is that going to bring any safety cars out? I don't think we're going to, but there's a change of position. Chuck goes past Josh McGill, sends it around the outside of the hairpin, and what a move that is. He's made it stick. But this is all helping his brother pull away into a bit of a gap. You got Paul just behind these guys. I'm sure he's not going to want to stick a nose up too far at the inside because it could cost him dearly. LGE all over the back of Danny as well in the Alpine. Just drops back a bit through smooth curve. But relatively speaking, yes, another very clean, very fair start from all of these guys. Josh McGill right up to the back of Chuck, though, and then leaves him plenty of room, holds it around the outside, and that's a very good defending from the Red Bull. Chuckle obviously fast as that first driver across the line, and I think, look, Josh McGill looks like he's got a lot more straight line speed than that Red Bull because he's just breezed past him and takes the inside. They're side by side going through the first and second corner. That's brilliant racing, and Josh McGill has got the place back once again up into P2, and Chuck is demoted once again to the bottom step of the podium. And there we go. Cameron, a 5-second penalty speeding in the pit lane. I'm sure his race is off to a disaster start. He won't be happy with that. Paul looking at the inside of Chuck as well. Chuck runs very wide, and that is going to allow the AlphaTauri through. And that is Paul up to P3, and that is exactly what he needs. That is very nice from the AlphaTauri. Chuck running very deep in behind, and I think that could leave him vulnerable to Lee Burt on those hards. Is Lee Burt going to send a move up the inside or around the outside? Not sure. No, he decides not to. Got a few position changes further back. Danny and Lee Craig going side by side through the chicane. Oh, Chuck has gone round on the exit of the hairpin. That is a shame for him, and he's tumbling down the order as well. Oh my goodness. Speak of the devil, LGE has crashed. What has happened there? The Williams, unbelievable, has spun it around the end of the first sector, dropped it into the wall, and that is a DNF for the Williams driver of LGE. That is shame for him, and strangely enough has not brought out any safety car or VSC. Going to make that move stick there, but we've got to keep an eye on these two. Now as they come down the start-finish straight, DRS wide open for the Haas, absolutely flies past that McLaren. He's got so much less wings, and into the race yellow flag. Who is that? That is Lee Craig, is it? It is. The Red Bull has spun and dropped down the order. That's both Red Bulls having issues early on in this race, and that's not good for their hopes in the Constructors' Championship. And sets his sights on Prodigy. We've also got Cunningham round and in the gravel, and lost a lot of his wing as well. Still no sign of a safety car or VSC, which is nice to see. Oh my goodness. Cameron Poulter's crashed, and that's caused a safety car, and I am currently going to eat my words. That is the commentator's curse if you've ever seen one. Unreal, unreal. Who are we going to see pit? Who are we going to see not pit? It's very, very early in this race, but can anyone risk it? Josh McGill's going for it. Chuckle, he's going to go for it as well. Paul, I imagine, will follow his championship rival. He has to. He knows he has to. Lee Burt's going to carry on. No surprises there. Royal. Oh, Chuck. What has happened to Chuck? He's spun under safety car. And award for Muppet of the evening goes to, hands down, Chuck, for spinning under safety car. Round of applause for you, Chuck. I'm sure you will absolutely kill me for calling you out now in the chat, but nonetheless, we will do so. So he can go whenever he wants, and it looks like he's going through this chicane. I think he is as well. What's happened to Paul? Paul's had a bit of a spin. Josh McGill as well, dropping down the order. Drama here. What has happened? Josh McGill and Paul look like they went down a bit. Paul, I think, has managed to gain any positions he's lost back. But that, I do not know what has happened. Surely we're going to get a few illegal overtakes on that one. Looney Man dropping behind Flea. Flea managing to get a nice jump on him. But yeah, Paul, very fortunate for him, is back behind Chuckle. We've had David Benson, who was DNF down the start-finish straight. Don't know what's happened to him. Josh McGill getting past Prodigy, but Prodigy having to go back at him. They're going side by side. Yeah, Josh McGill centered up the inside, but Prodigy having none of it, going back around the outside. But Josh McGill, we know, is running very, very low wings, but obviously not as low as Prodigy, because he could not make that move there. But Prodigy going very, very wide. Josh McGill up the inside, squeezing the Mercedes as wide as he can, and naturally as they like, through into 130R. Prodigy goes wide and Josh McGill goes through for 10th position. That is some hard racing there. Looney Man, oh, getting a bit of a bump from Flea as they go through, and that's going to allow Josh McGill a run on him, and Josh McGill takes up another position with that. Josh McGill does make a move past Flea, so he's got through, and Flea is round. He's dropped it on the exit and tumbling down the order on old hards. Can't seem to find a way past. But gonna look and chuckle. Oh, Danny is round. Danny is round. Oh no, I missed that. Literally happening right in front of my eyes, and I did not see it because I'm too busy looking at the timing graphics. Danny dropped it on the exit of Spoon Curve, and he's tumbling down the order, and this really hasn't worked out for him. That is gutting for the Alpine, because he's all over the back of Bugatti. Is he going to send one into this hairpin? I think he's going to give it a go. Up the inside, the Haas goes. The Alpine gives him plenty of room, but will get the better drive out the corner coming out of the hairpin. But I think Josh McGill has the outside line and the much better wings through there, and that's also going to allow Prof potentially a little run on the Alpine, but can't quite make it move. Obviously running his wing levels too low. Just struggling for lap time, just really hasn't got the pace. Oh, Josh McGill gets fastest lap, so there we go. So Cameron's not going to keep hold of that one. Prof looking pretty close this time around. He darts to the inside. Can he make this move? No, he's going to back out of it and decide to live another day. Keeps his front wing. Decides, or is Liebert backing right up, because he has dropped massively to Chuckle. I'm sure he was a good 3 seconds ahead coming onto this lap, but all of a sudden he's within a second. So whether he's trying to help Chuckle, it really is. But we're going to go back with the leaders now. Chuckle and Liebert have swapped positions, so yeah, Liebert 100% playing the team game here. Give him the extra pace in the corners and extra stability and consistency that he likes in the AlphaTauri. That is a lot of corner on the inside there, and that did look like a corner cut, which I'm sure will have given him a warning. Josh McGill sets fastest lap. Liebert's in the pits. There we go. That has now released Paul. Josh McGill fastest lap at the same time as well. So I wouldn't keep an eye on Liebert up ahead, but that means he's no longer going to play a part in this championship. He's done his job. He's dropped his teammate ahead, and out comes Liebert. There we go, into 7th position. Fresh mediums. He's going to be very, very quick from now until the end of this race. This could get interesting. Bugatti gets past Royal, because Royal has gone for a bit of a spin, and that completely and utterly unnecessary from Codemasters. And I have no idea why that's come out. That is the most ridiculous joke of a decision I've ever seen. I'm going to pit, though. Chuckle goes for it. Paul goes for it as well. Josh McGill goes for it. Yeah, that's a good call, actually, because they've got a good gap to Looney Man further back. So, yeah, brave call, but fair enough. Mediums, and that's a good shout. Lieber will come through on the fresh mediums as well. Now all of a sudden he's in the picture. His mediums are a lap younger, but all of a sudden he's brought back up behind these guys. So perhaps now he can have an influence on this championship. And he gets ready to go through the last chicane. Is he going yet? Is he going yet? Not yet. He's going to hold it to the last minute. We're all keeping an eye on behind. There's a couple of positions. Pippo's overtaken and then let back past Liebert further back, and away he goes. And Paul is very much under threat in this restart. Josh McGill has the run on him, and also has the left downforce, as we well know. They're going to be side by side through turn 1, but Paul has the extra grip, swoops back into P2, and he's held that position. It's very brave from the AlphaTauri driver and committed, and he wanted to keep that position. That was very good racing from the two of them, but Chuckle timed that start to perfection. Very not far behind him, and also Danny, who does get past Cunningham because he's put the pressure on the Haas, and the Haas has run very deep indeed. Josh McGill all over the back of Paul. Chuckle pulling a bit of a gap to Paul. I think he's using a lot of battery. This is Chuckle's opportunity as Prof and Bugatti go side by side. Prof does finally get past the Alpine. He's seen the rear end of that Alpine all race long, but the Alpine just flies back past with that straight line speed. But Prof is also a bit quicker through 130R, later on the brakes, and makes that position stick. Chuckle gets past his lap. Is anyone going to beat it? No, doesn't look like it. That is exactly what he needs. Josh McGill is just a monster in a straight line. He must be running ridiculously low wings. I'm 100% sure that, yeah, Josh McGill and Pippo Kennedy as well just behind. Is Paul and Josh McGill going side by side. It's just got ridiculous straight line speed, that has. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, Lee Burton, Josh McGill have collided, and Lee Burt, I called it at the beginning, has had a big influence on this championship, but not in the way we were expecting. He has had a coming together with Josh McGill, and that has thrown them both out of contention for the podium for this race. Josh McGill has retired in the pits, fair enough. Bit late to come back from this. But wow. Oh my goodness. Lee Burt, Josh McGill, we'll have to see what happened. I'm sure we'll see it in the stewards room, but that has left Paul with an open goal. The pressure is off. Running 1 and 2 as things stand. Chuck, oh, that's also crucial. Chuck has taken the fastest lap off his brother. Perhaps needs the extra. Oh, fastest lap, and Chuck is going up the inside of Looney Man, side by side through Spoon Curve. Chuck has the position. That Red Bull is up to P4, and what a recovery drive from Chuck, because with Pippo being a reserve, that means Chuck will get a podium. P3. Fantastic recovery from the Red Bull. And it back off his brother. He really wants that extra point. He needs every point he can get hold of. Two matters in hand. Chuckle in the Papaya McLaren. The final lap of the championship. He is currently leading Paul Jones Jr. by 1.4 seconds. He's really pulled a gap on him. Bugatti and Royal Rumble going at it further back for 8th and 9th. And Royal Rumble trying to get back at the inside of Bugatti. Can't make it move there, but we're going to go back with the leaders once again. Paul just closing in a little bit on Chuckle in that first sector. Can he get close to the McLaren? He doesn't really need to. He just needs to finish where he is, and he will be champion. Through into the hairpin. Just needs to keep it neat and tidy, nice and gentle on the throttle. And this is where the pressure gets to you. This is where it matters most, because one mistake now, just one, and it could cost you a whole championship. But Paul is not a man who feels pressure. He's not a man who feels fear. He goes up against the Titans. He gives it his all. And you know what? He comes out on top. He is a very hard man to beat. I have raced him many, many times in the past. And what a challenger. They are both weaving down the straight. What a championship this has been. I've absolutely loved every second of it. But it's about to be gone. Chuckle lets Paul go. so he can win his race and win the championship in style, and that is good sportsmanship. Oh my goodness. Paul Jones Jr. for AlphaTauri is the RTG Monday tier champion, and congratulations to him. He also takes the race win. Chuckle, very, very sportsmanlike behaviour, hands Paul the victory. Chuckle, in all honesty, driven fantastic, but Paul is your champion for this season, and a worthy one at that. Chuckle, a much deserving runner-up, and fantastic from him. Who expected that? There Paul goes. Absolutely over the moon with that. I'm sure he is. He will be celebrating and jumping up and down. He is loving that. And a massive congratulations. There you have it. Paul, your RTG Monday champion, takes the race victory. Chuckle, very sportsmanlike, handing it to him on the last lap. Probably a deserved winner for the evening. Get his fastest lap as well. I'm sure he'll be happy. He gave it everything this evening, but it wasn't quite enough. Pippo rounds out a great podium, 19th to 3rd. That is fantastic drive from him. And surely driver of the day. Absolutely. Chuck will take the actual podium in the points tally. But P4 on track. Looney Man in P5. A great race from him. Aki as well, same in P6. Prof, what could have been? P7. Bugatti P8. Royal Rumble P9. And Danny taking the last spot on P10. What a great season we've had. What a great race we've had. Absolutely fantastic. I've loved every second of being here. I'm so glad that you guys have shared this journey with me. Thank you ever so much. And I can't wait till next season. But until then, good night.